While I already recorded the episode for April 13th with Max, too much has gone on that I couldn't stay silent anymore. UCLA has had big news. Two basketball players, making their decisions. One to come to UCLA, the other to head to the NBA draft on this semi-breaking news edition of Locked On UCLA. Hey, everybody, I'm Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get excited for the Bruins because, one, someone's taking their next step and making their future be realized. So we got to applaud Tyger Campbell. But more importantly, for the future for UCLA, you have got Ilane Fibleuil, which we talked about is that somewhat mystery recruit UCLA has been going after, the Frenchman, about a 6'5", 6'6" wing, who's got some NBA development. He had been teased potentially with Gonzaga, potentially going to the G League, and eventually UCLA has turned and made it happen. What does this mean going forward? Well, we'll have a more in-depth analysis on Friday where I'll kind of look a little bit more into Ilane Fibleuil. But for UCLA at 1, that means they're adding to the class of 23. It just shows you how much impact that Ivo Simovic has coming in and getting guys overseas, because the Bruins have gone and gotten a Dem Bona, right? They've gotten especially the more important late one in terms of Abramo Zanka. That was one of the first big ones they got overseas from Italy. I know they're looking at Demata, but for now, they've got one product overseas. And how does the roster shape up in 2023 into 24? Well, now UCLA knows, for the most part, their point guard situation isn't going to be a veteran one, with Tyger Campbell declaring to the NBA draft. So you've got a shooting guard who's got NBA potential scoring ability. I was watching Locked On Zags, another show on the Locked On Family Network, where they were talking about when he was visiting Gonzaga a few months ago, that he's got NBA fadeaway jump shots. He's got the range from 3. This is a guy that could be very, very helpful, and we just haven't seen the beginning. He's just starting to blossom into his young career, and he could have easily not chosen to go to UCLA. He had Gonzaga, and people really checked in on him and even had professional teams saying, hey, what's up? G League was calling. But for Fibleuil, that's important. But for UCLA, with Tyger Campbell leaving, that means the point guards will be extremely, extremely young unless Mick Cronin is hitting the portal hard and trying to get another point guard. I'm not entirely sure that's what I'm seeing at the moment, but it's nice to see. It's a weird 1-2 combo for UCLA, getting one guy in and another guy leaving. Maybe not so much weird, but that's what's going on for the Bruins. Because remember, this class of 23 was a lot of misses this year. A lot of misses. They got Brandon Williams and Devin Williams fairly early on. Sebastian Mack was a little bit later when UCLA couldn't get Isaiah Collier or Marco Jackson. They couldn't get those premier guards or players atop the class of 23 rankings. Even Andrei Stojakovic spurned UCLA and went to Stanford, even though the Bruins seemingly had that connect. I know Marcus Adams Jr., I've been referencing him. He could have been that late ad as a reclassification potentially. He chose to go to Kansas as the initial class of 24 kid. So Mick Cronin and the Bruins truly struggled to get their footing on in this recruiting cycle. And it was so weird because this is still one of the last years where COVID can make such an impact on do guys want to stay that next year? Like Hawkes having this decision. Tyger Campbell having this decision. Jalen Clark choosing he wanted to go to the NBA. So that's one of 3 guys who wanted to make NBA decisions this year, some seniors, some with a year or 2 of eligibility. But that just shows you how tough it can be, looking in the portal, trying to go grab someone in the recruiting class. And UCLA said, hey, we're going to go overseas. And I remember talking about this in August, so we'll recap this more again on Friday's episode. UCLA, with Ivo Simovic getting hired on the staff, one of the newest recruits. They've got the Compton Magic tie with Rod Palmer, which is why I was disappointing they couldn't get Marcus Adams Jr. I thought he might have been a Bruin. But to go get Fibleuil, it shows, hey, they can get people in their backyard. Getting Brandon Williams, it shows the Bruins can go across and steal someone out of someone else's backyard. And they can even go across the pond and go across the world, literally, and get the best basketball players who are rising stars in the amateur ranks and bring them to UCLA potentially for a year or 2. I'm not entirely sure how long Fibleuil projects to be in UCLA. At the moment, we'll just say you'd expect him to stay for a year, but we don't know that just yet. We'll look a little more in depth at this going forward over the next coming weeks on the Friday episode. But Ilane Fibleuil, the 6'6" wing, is officially a Bruin. It had been heating up, and he made the announcement on Twitter, just like Tyger Campbell made his announcement late the other night on April 12th. So those are all key things, which is why you should become an everyday listener of the Locked On UCLA podcast, because football practice is in the heat of things. Everything is all going forward. The NBA draft declaration date is coming up, and players have to make their decisions. That's why you should check out Locked On UCLA, because even if we're not getting to it on that episode and we record one early, we also will talk about, we'll talk about it on Friday too. We got it all here on Locked On UCLA. This episode is brought to you by Built Bar, because if you're looking for a delicious snack and don't want all the sugar and calories, then you need the best tasting protein bar ever. That's why you've got to try Built. If you're like me and you want healthier snack choices and you don't want to compromise on taste, then the thing for you is a Built Bar. It's healthy and it tastes absolutely amazing. You're just not going to believe it's good for you. What makes Built Bars so good? Well, all you have to do is check out that they're 100% covered in real dark chocolate. Yes, real chocolate. And they come in unbelievable flavors. Churro, peanut butter brownie, cookies and cream. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like candy bars while maintaining amazing macros. Only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. You can go to Built.com. You can go to your local Walmart, Sam's Club. You can go find them anywhere, from cookies and cream, double chocolate, coconut puff. They've got it all. Just head to your nearest pharmacy store section. Go grab a Built Bar, 4-bar box, 13-bar boxes. You're not going to want to miss out on the Built Bar revolution. Just like this UCLA basketball revolution gets you excited, we're going to talk about it more in depth. Yes, if you're thinking, hey, he didn't get too much in depth into it. Well, it's my job to go do some more digging and bring more to it. So if you want to become an everyday listener of UCLA, join the everydayer crew. Yes, it's a new thing we're talking Locked On. You want to come listen to every episode. We teased this earlier in the week, and now it's coming to fruition. If you want to go back, listen to the earlier parts of the week, hey, who is this guy? Who's Mara? Who are these guys that UCLA all of a sudden is having reports coming out of the Bruin Report Online or the Sports Illustrated sites, or even us here at Locked On? Where's everything coming from? You're going to want to stay tuned here on Locked On UCLA. A very excited A-clap, we say. We bid farewell to Tiger. We welcome in Ilane Fibleuil, and that is the best pronunciation I can give you at the moment. When we can get more pronunciations, we'll try and adjust it, but we believe it's Ilane Fibleuil. 8-clap time, UCLA fans, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, UCLA. UCLA, fight, fight, fight. This has been the breaking news edition of Locked On UCLA. Go Bruins!